Hi, so again, just fair warning, this is one of those videos where don't expect an actual uploading schedule. I upload when I have an opinion to share, and that's it. Also, yes, I am now blonde, and I've also moved yet again. I'm back in college. Yeet. So, this video is about, trans stuff, as usual. In the trans community, there are varying, uh, fucking opinions, I guess, on what constitutes someone being transgender. And it varies all the way from people who believe that there are still only two genders and that it's still considered like transsexualism and that it's very much a medical disorder and that the only way to become male or female is to fully like physically transition, chop your boobs off, add boobs, the whole ordeal, all the way to people who believe that like anyone can be trans. If you don't want to identify the way you were assigned at birth, congrats, you're trans. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like present as the gender that you want to be seen as. You don't have to medically transition. You don't have to physically transition. You can just socially transition. Most transgender people fall somewhere in the middle. Obviously, there are people on every extreme because that's just how the world works. But it is a continuum. Truscum, which is the term that I'm using for this video, are over here. Not every Truscum believes fully in like the whole binary, you have to be fully transitioned before you can like call yourself your actual gender kind of thing. But for the most part, that's kind of where they stand. They're very much you have to be that gender before you can say that gender, which I don't personally agree with. I'm gonna go into why, but also I'm gonna change how I'm sitting because I'm uncomfortable. So, I identify mostly binary. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm okay with they, them pronouns. I don't really care. I use both trans man and trans masculine because at the end of the day, I identify as a man, but I'm also very comfortable in masculinity, and I identify more with gay and bisexual men's understanding of masculinity. The person I'm currently dating is non-binary, and they're fantastic, and I love them. I also have quite a few non-binary friends. The issue, of course, comes along when Truscum are saying you cannot be non-binary because there's no such thing as non-binary dysphoria. And I'm sitting here going, except that there is. Because my partner, my boyfriend, very much wants to transition. My non-binary friends very much want to transition and want to be seen like not as they were assigned at birth. Just because they don't want to be seen at the other end of the gender spectrum doesn't mean they're not trans. I don't want to be seen at the other gender. I don't want to be seen at the other end of the gender spectrum either, to be quite honest. I don't want to be seen as a straight male, and I'm not saying that like gay and bisexual men are less men than straight dudes, but like I don't want to be hypermasculine. I don't want to like present hypermasculine and have to let go of the things that make me feel comfortable and make me feel attractive. Like, I enjoy glitter. I enjoy painting my nails. I like having funky colored hair. Does that make me less of a man? No. Does the fact that, like, I'm comfortable sometimes wearing makeup or, like, heels or whatever make me less of a man? No, because here's the thing, sisters do it all the time. And saying that a trans person can't be comfortable presenting themselves however they want to present themselves, kind of dumb. Because trans people are not that different from cis people. We have our own independent thoughts, we have our own views on how we want to be seen and how we want others to see us. We have things that we like and we dislike. We're not a monolith. To say that we're a monolith is very uneducated. To say that there are only two binary genders and you can't stray anywhere from either of them is again very misinformed. Like, I know within the lesbian community, and I'm not going to try and speak over lesbians just from observation, I know that there are plenty of lesbians who feel disconnected from womanhood. That doesn't inherently make them trans or non-binary, but it means that they don't identify with womanhood the same way other women do. Like, I've heard plenty of lesbians say, my gender is not woman, my gender is lesbian. Because being a lesbian is so different from just being a woman. Like, there's such a disconnect between the two that sometimes lesbians just don't feel like they can identify as women. And that's fine. Does that mean a lesbian is going to transition? Not inherently. But back to the whole concept of why Truscum suck. The concept of needing dysphoria to be trans. I understand that. Like, I understand why would you consider yourself trans if there wasn't some uncomfortableness in your body telling you, like, I don't belong here, this isn't right, I look in the mirror and I don't see what I think I should be seeing. I get that. The issue, of course, is that dysphoria is so much more complex than just physical, deep in your gut dysphoria. Like, I'm not constantly dysphoric when I'm around trans and gay and lesbian and bisexual friends. My dysphoria goes away. Not completely, but it goes away because, like, I'm surrounded by people who are affirming that, yes, I am me. Yes, just because how I look on the outside doesn't match how I am on the inside, that doesn't make me any less of a man. Like, when I'm around my brother as well, who's very affirming and very, like, supportive and all that shit. There's social dysphoria as well, which I get a lot when I open my mouth and have to speak up in class, because I'm constantly worried people are going to hear my voice and any chance they had of seeing me as a man out the window, because I know I don't pass with my voice. And that's an example of social dysphoria, because it's the whole interacting with people who may or may not A, get that you're trans, and B, respect that you're trans. And that's an issue. But that's something Truscum don't acknowledge fully. They're like, yeah, social dysphoria is a thing, but it only happens if you also have physical dysphoria. And I'm like, not necessarily, because I can be feeling really confident. I can be feeling like a dude and not like a trans dude. Like, it's just me hanging out. But the second I leave my room, I'm like, oh jeez, people are gonna see me as a chick. People are gonna see me as a chick, and I have no chance. And then, of course, there's gender euphoria, which comes with the affirmations of, yes, you are who you say you are. And it's obviously more complicated than that, but I'm, like, running out of time to film. So, there's so much more to dysphoria and to transitioning, and it's not like a one thing fixes all situation. It's very complicated. There's so many nuances. Like, for me personally, I don't want to fully physically transition. Like, I have no interest in, like, bottom surgery or any of that. I just want to remove the boobs and lower my voice. That's it. Does that make me less trans? No. Me being comfortable with my genitals doesn't make me less trans. It just means I'm comfortable with my genitals. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some trans people are, some trans people aren't. That's just how life is. So, the TLDR, because I tend to ramble and forget what I'm talking about, is Truscum oversimplify what it means to be trans, and that can be very harmful for trans people, especially trans people who are just discovering their identity. Because yes, sometimes trans people will step into the trans community and immediately be like, I am trans, I know my identity, I figured it out. But oftentimes they're like, I don't know, am I non-binary, am I gender fluid, am I just a straight up trans dude or trans woman, like, I don't know what I am and where I stand in this. And so, to put so much pressure to binary label yourself, it can hurt young trans people. And also, by throwing trans people under the bus and calling it mental illness, you're gonna stigmatize them. I didn't really talk about the mental illness aspect. Totally forgot about that. We'll talk about that later, probably. Don't know. But considering trans people mentally ill, yes, it may immediately make it easier for them to get hormones, because congrats, like, mental illness issues are covered by insurance. But it will further stigmatize them to, like, actual trans folks. And I can go into that later, but right now, I have to go to class, so